Same group actually that put together the teacher selection recommendation, and this is our balanced calendar. We have a bit of an interesting challenge because a balanced calendar is particularly, well, I'll let them talk about why a balanced calendar is a particularly interesting, difficult thing to do, and why within our group we didn't have the right people at the table to actually do the work at figuring out what the best balanced calendar model would be and whether we have the community support. So this group is actually going to recommend, and they'll explain more about their thinking, that we create a balanced calendar work team with membership from key stakeholder groups. This is really important. And we do it for the purpose of researching and balanced calendar models, holding community forums, defining budgetary, logistical, and facility implications, and recommending a final design by September 19th, 2013 for implementation during the 2014-15 school year. So this is a whole year and a half away before this will be implemented. I have with me two of our committee members, Beth Vaughn, a teacher in Willow Run, and Carrie Allen, a parent in Ypsilanti. And I am going to have them, can I also, we have other people in our audience who are part of this group, if you wouldn't mind saying hi. Do you want to? Hi. Who else do we have? Stand up. Sue. You can go ahead. All right. So Beth, I'm going to turn over to you to talk about this.
You can do it. Okay. Welcome. I'm glad to be here. I apologize for my voice tonight. And believe it or not, I did not speak much because I was doing testing today. It just happened. First of all, what I'd like to tell you is what a balanced calendar is. A balanced calendar is not the traditional calendar where we have huge chunks of time in class, and little breaks at weird intervals, and this huge time off in the summer. What it is something similar to 45 days on, 15 days off, with a little bit smaller chunk of time in the summer. Quite frankly, we think at the committee that maybe having 45 days on and 15 days off is still a little bit too much off time, that it would be something more along the lines of 50, 10, but with another break or something. But that's for the committee to decide.
The process we're looking at is getting a large amount of input from parents, staff, stakeholders, athletic, co-curricular activities, professional development, summer school, enrichment programs, so that those programs that are traditionally in the summer can fill in for those break periods for parents. Investigate the different types of tracks. They have multi-tracks where all the schools are going at different times, or a single track, which we preferred, just makes life easier, I think. Yeah.
When we looked at some of the tracks, when they have multi-track systems, that means that you are using your facilities all the time, and some people would be in school, and some people would be on vacation. And you also, we found that in some of those places, you go to school, and then when you come back, the teacher comes back to the classroom, and your classroom's being used on another track, so you've got to find another room. And it just, for our community, we need continuity. We need our students to feel safe and comfortable in their spot. So we really did have a bias on the single track area right here. We feel very strongly about having the longer periods of education so that we, so students don't lose so much. But single track is definitely the committee's bias.
Investigate the cost, including the Title I supplements. We didn't even go into that. And plan around the athletics, the music programs, the summer programs, and then also doing summer job. You know, a lot of high schoolers, they work all summer, and then looking at how we can work that in with these smaller breaks and have maybe different types of work schedules or students, in school schedules for the seniors or, high school students.
In our community, because we're in a unique spot, and I think it's a really positive spot, we do have a lot of title programs. And so there is funding from a lot of different sources, and we need to see how we can support some of the break activities with like summer school training and some other additional enrichment and remediation experiences for kids, plus some arts experiences, and pay for those kinds of things in creative ways. Because this could be a costly program if we decided to say, we're going to run our schools 365 days a year. I mean, we can't do that. So this way, we are breaking it out in a way that is cost effective, which is another reason we felt we really need other people involved in this to study the program. This is, we're proposing, and this is also because of our position in that we just need the stakeholders involved that are going to be able to make these decisions and have a piece of the process. We need to have representations, and it can be in and out, so keep that in mind. This committee would be huge if we had all these people meeting at one time, so just bear with me. Transportation needs representation. Facilities needs representation, and that would include building and use, the maintenance, the custodial, how are we using our facilities and what for? Because we don't just use our facilities for school, we have other programs in them. We need one parent representative from each program or building, because our buildings are unique, and especially putting these two districts together, we want to be sure that we are honoring everybody, not just like all of our parents on this committee coming from one particular building or program. So we want to be sure that we're well represented. We would like teacher representation from pre-K, elementary, middle, special ed, high school, and social worker psychologist, so that we have all of the education. And I see that athletics is not on there, and it definitely should be, athletics, music, the arts, all of these things could have representation as well. We would like to see administration from both the elementary and the secondary level, so that we can discuss the specific needs of each of those populations. And then our community partners, you can read the list up there, but it's basically because we want to involve people who are going to come in on those little break periods and have a stake in our after-school programs, have a stake in our break programs, our summer programs. The people who are going to be working with us to enrich and enhance the education of all of our children in this community.
This is the timeline, and it looks scary.
Because we have 180 days.
Less than that.
108.
But the first and probably the most crucial part is getting this committee together and getting a date to start. And we still want to do that in the next week or so. And that will be, begin soliciting those people out of those buildings. April 11th, start meeting. Research the models, and there's, at the end, there are the websites of the different types of models that they can research, which way they want to go. Community forums, get all the people together, meet at the church, meet at the schools, forums, see what other parents are thinking, what ideas they have. Access the data and finalize the model, and then try to put this all together.
We also felt it was really important that after we get the committee input and we, put all of these things together, we make a projected model. Then we're going to go out and draft all these logistics and then adjust our plan after and only after community review. It's really important that if we are going to undertake something like this, and apparently the committees that met during the summer felt this was a really beneficial plan. Staff has really talked about this, helping our students. We need to make sure that this is a plan that everybody can buy into. And then the final documents should be ready board review by September 19th, because we have deadlines